Alright, well, we're gonna boot in. Ow. New entity, Void Portal. After defeating the Void, you can now loop back to the start with your current equipment at your own risk. Understandable. Let me turn down the game a little bit. It's a little bit loud. Maybe my hearing's just getting, like, stricter, more sensitive, but those have been pretty loud lately. Okay. Let's boot straight in. Let's get a, what's a nice Pride Monthy color? Let's go with pink. How about that? Cool. Where do I normally put chat? I normally put chat up here, I think. Yeah, that works. Well, hello! I forgot about you. Huh. So you actually have to... Hey, Kieran. You actually have to prompt him now. You can't just, like, click it and then move on. You have to actually stand there. I suppose it makes sense, considering it's a pretty big game changer if you grab it. Ooh, I'm reloading. Yeet. Man, this game. Yeah. I actually quite like the shotgun. I wish I liked it more, but it's usually a bit too weak, and I still think it's maybe a bit too weak. Although it isn't a super rare drop, so it's not like it has to be super strong anyway. Maybe it's just not designed to be that strong. Although once you do get like a point blank shot on people, it really does melt. So I could be wrong. I might turn down the game a bit further, actually. I'm not sure how the volume is for yous. If the game's too quiet or if the game's too high. But the game felt a bit too loud for me. Oh, it's this one. I keep forgetting that the wasp boss, or the matriarch, spawns with a small little dude first. Okay. You know, I'm really not that scared of bosses being in the world anymore, for the most part. I'm more scared of enemies who shoot projectiles. Thanks for telling me the audio is good. Ah! Okay, the shotgun is also really good at just like point blanking fools. The pap. Man, I get so excited every time this game gets a new update. This game's soundtrack is good. This game's soundtrack is excellent. I really love this game's soundtrack. I don't listen to it often, off stream or when I'm not playing it, but I do listen to it somewhat, you know? Thunder Soul is actually really good. When stalled. Honestly, I would say this is maybe the strongest Soul. But I could be wrong. Yeah, no, absolutely, it is 100% the strongest Soul. Like, there's not even a question. You still listen to the Earthbound OST. Actually, honestly, the main reason I don't listen to this game's OST very often is because I just don't have it. I haven't bought it on like SoundCloud yet or anything. Not SoundCloud, Bandcamp. I keep meaning to, but I've been in a tight situation money-wise for quite a while. So, ow. So buying things has been kind of difficult. Or at least justifying buying things. You know, and I'm really glad that these things here cost like nothing now. I said this in one of the last streams, I think exactly the last stream, but I feel like the economy situation in this game is pretty finely tuned at this point. I think it's pretty solid. I thought it might have been messed up if, once they added the shopping. You know, like how it usually is. You know, once you add a new entirely way of spending your currency, the rest of the currency kind of falters a little bit. Or what you could spend it on before. But no. They actually did finally tune it quite excellently. I would actually say that it's actually better tuned than it was at launch. Oh, a second matriarch. Interesting. Ah! Yeah, so I actually think the economy situation in this game is just better balanced than it was before. Unless they add some other form of way of spending your... Oh. Oh, I didn't actually realize they weren't leaving. I thought they were leaving. Yeah, unless they add... those remind me of Nuclear Throne. Yeah, I think that was the main inspiration. At least from what I remember. But unless they had some sort of other currency or other way you can spend your money in the game, I think that this is how I would like the money situation to be. You know, lots of money to spend in the shops while still being able to feed the dude that's up in the level transitions. Honestly, I think the main thing was just making him and the item shops around the world much cheaper, is what really just kind of caved it in. It made it really good. I don't mind the Invader. The Invader's actually pretty good. Rat bullet lotion. Oh, this is a new item. Okay, well I guess we're taking rat bullet lotion. Going in. Also, this is probably where the shotgun is actually not that strong. It's because it can just fire over walls. You know, if it was also strong on top of that, I guess it would just be a bit too powerful. So I guess there I can see the appeal of it. Ooh, Toxic Soul. I think I've already gotten it before, but we'll take it because it's a very, very rare one. Why does he look like an older Mr. Poopy Butthole? Oh my god, you're actually correct. I was wondering what he reminded me on ever since I first saw him, and I was like, wow, come on, what does he look like? And you're right, he 100% does look like Mr. Poopy Butthole. Oh, both matriarchs are here. So how's your day been, Kieran? Been pretty good? Doing anything interesting? I really like the rats. The rats are really cool. I always like the, I love the items that give you a new effect to your shots. You know? Like, obviously the rat bullet lotion, the frog potion, the snake potion. Stuff like that. Or, I guess, lotions. Things that do stuff like that, which just kind of compound your damage, are really nice. Nuclear vibing. I wish there was more items that kind of shifted how the game played a little bit, if you know what I mean. And I know we go on like a tangent every stream where it's like, what would I want to see in this game? You know, what would I want changed? But, you know, you kind of got to every time. Good, been quiet as now. I've been playing a mix of Elder Scrolls Online, that it's really good, and Mad Max. Also finished Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. And cried a little. Because it's sad, or because you're happy, or because it's over? What made you cry? Where haven't I been yet? Oh, I haven't actually destroyed the beacon in this area. Mix of all of that. Yeah, I feel that sometimes as well. When I was watching the finale of Adventure Time, it kind of racked me for like a day, or like 2 days or something. Kenshiro is still always and will be one of my favorite characters ever. Understandable. But there's a reason I never watched the Adventure Time finale, or at least was never really interested in watching it very quickly, or very soon after it came out. Because, you know, you kind of just didn't want Adventure Time to end. I didn't watch it because I was like, you know, once I do, that's it for Adventure Time, you know? I don't really... I mean, it's still there. I can still watch it anytime I want. But, you know, something about it's gone. You seen the Deathlands miniseries? The Deathlands? You mean Distant Lands. And I have, actually. Part of the reason I brought up Adventure Time is because I most recently watched that. It was the Finn and Jake one. And that one is special. It is beautiful. It's not what I expected in the slightest out of Adventure Time. But man, is it bittersweet. And it gave me the exact same feeling that the finale did, where it's like, oh shit, Adventure Time, it's over. You know, it's done. Oh god, we might die. Oh, no we're not. What a lucky get. Yeah, a lot of media tends to give me that, you know, it's over type of vibe to it. I don't like it when something is over. Because, you know, I just like experiencing good things. You know, it makes me imagine, like, what the creators must feel, and... I mean, they probably feel relieved a lot of the time. I can imagine that. But I imagine that a lot of them feel just really, like, distraught that they don't get to work on such a iconic project anymore, or something they really loved. You know what show disappointed me in the end? Unless they do something with the land of the Oob, we never really go back, sadly. I mean, Distant Lands is exactly what I wanted, to be honest. Distant Lands is just more Adventure Time, and honestly, Distant Lands, if you haven't seen it, it's the new Adventure Time show they've been putting out. It's the best Adventure Time that has ever been, in my opinion. I don't think there has been a time where Adventure Time has ever been better. Because it really feels like the creators of Adventure Time finally got to do what they've always wanted to do for years. You know? It's like Adventure Time Unchained. You know, full hour-long episodes. With really emotional stories, really important story arcs. Lots of representation, like, they don't sugarcoat the setting anymore. Stuff like that. I really love Distant Lands. Ugh. Don't hit me! You never actually watched Rick and Morty. Might be something worth watching then. Because Rick and Morty is actually really good. I'm also not reading chat as much because, you know, double void boss. Gravity Falls at the end with the see you next summer thing. That summer never came. I mean, Gravity Falls, oh, I can't actually see what's here. Damn. I can read it though. Incendiary rounds 100%. Anything that alters my my weapon shots is excellent. I mean, eventually. Oh, you actually have to prompt it. There's been a crap ton of Gravity Falls hints in the new Rick and Morty. It's good, no lie. One thing that ruined it was the fandom. I think I also stated this last stream as well, but the fandom just doesn't matter. If the fandom ruins it, then stop thinking about the fandom. You really don't need the fandom, you know? Wait, does he not give us an item anymore? Oh, does he not give us an item anymore? Oh. Really? That makes him, like, so much less interesting. Or worth doing, I guess. It's not like multiplayer games where you have to deal with the fandom. Is Scrappy better than the Porco? Yeah, it probably is. In that case, I can actually get rid of this. Thank you. I'd also watch season 5 of Samurai Jack given the chance. No, wait, season 7. I did like Star Wars: The Forces of Evil though, even though the ending was rushed. Yeah, again, if the community is what bothers you about a piece of media, just ignore the community. You really don't need to care about it. The community is like the last thing on my mind when I'm watching or enjoying a piece of media. Because at that point, I'm just enjoying the show. It doesn't, you know, I can say that I like a show and still not really be a part of the fandom. Oh god, the shotgun is losing its luster. I'm the same. If I want to watch or play something, I will. I really like WandaVision. I really like WandaVision as well. I actually think WandaVision is really good. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is worse, but I don't think, like... It's not the worst type where it's, like, actually bad. It's just, it's not as good as WandaVision. Still really good, though. Oh, no, he gives us HP. I forgot. He doesn't actually give us an item. He gives us HP. Right. Okay. Okay, never mind. He's actually still worth it. I haven't watched that yet. Yeah, WandaVision is really good. I'm also hearing lots of good stuff about Loki. At least lots of good hype for it. What? Die. Thank you, rats. What, 2 items? What? What? Wait, hang on. What is this? Oh, we have to trade. Oh. Trade health for Hurricane Soul. Oh. Token of Jace. Let's go with Token of Jace. Flash Bash. This thing's actually really good. Sorry, Shotgun, you've kind of outlasted your stay. We'll be getting Marvel Zombies soon. Yeah, I'll go with the second Hurricane Soul. I'm fine with that. But yeah, if I was going to mention, Gravity Falls wasn't a show that was designed to go on beyond 2 seasons anyway. In fact, the creator, I forgot his name, I think it's Alex Hirsch or something? It might be that. I could be wrong. But the creator, he was asked constantly by Cartoon Network, I think it was. Ooh, 10% off. He was asked constantly by the creators of Cartoon Network to be like, hey, can you put up another season of Gravity Falls, please? Like we really, really want it. And he was like, no, the show's finished. I don't have anything else to add. He's like, the show is finished. It's like done. I told the story I wanted to tell. I'm not going to just extend it for the sake of extending it. So, and I can really, really respect that, where he's like, I had a vision, I completed the vision, and I'm not going to compromise it for the sake of money. It makes him just like a really respectable person, and I've been kind of following everything else he's been doing ever since. You know, he's a person who knows what he wants, and it's very nice. You rarely see that in creative media nowadays. Even Adventure Time fell into the trap of doing a bunch of crap because it was told to by by Cartoon Network. I don't think I actually want to face him right now because I don't like. Oh, okay, maybe now I'm excited. I'm not a fan of facing the bosses with 0 HP. Woo! Disney XD. Sorry, yeah, Disney, my bad. They all blend together. Piece of dumb shit. It was originally CN, Kieran. Wasn't it sort of the same with Nick where they had Adventure Time only to lose it to Cartoon Network? Remember Angry Beavers? I do remember Angry Beavers. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that Adventure Time is so full of filler because it makes it really hard to stomach. Or I guess not to stomach, but like to watch. It really isn't an easy show to really watch or get people into, and you know, you say, oh, but it gets really, really good like 5 seasons in, and they're like, wow, that's a big commitment. And I'm kind of sitting there like, yeah, it's a big commitment. But trust me, it's good, I swear. Okay, this gun sucks. I'm probably just using it wrong. Woo! Woo! Oh! Oh no, he's doing his chainsaw! To be fair, someone did a complete fillerless list. I agree, actually, and I actually did use that when I was watching through it with Biffin. I used a complete fillerless list. But I still think that's a bit of a problem anyway, because that is still literally like 500, or that's still literally like 150 episodes. It's still a ton of episodes. Like, it only cuts out half of the episodes pretty much, because most of them are still required. You know, a lot of filler episodes have tiny, small details in them, which you kind of need to see. Like, I guess to put it into perspective, since Adventure Time was kind of forced to have so many filler episodes because Cartoon Network wanted a show they could infinitely repeat, Adventure Time kind of had to oblige them. But as a result, they were like, well, we're still going to put story details in filler episodes because, you know, we can. There's no reason we're not allowed to. So a lot of filler episodes are still required to watch because, you know, they contain, I don't know, Marceline pooped in the toilet this one time and that becomes relevant later on. Not insulting it, but it still means that there's a lot of episodes to pile through even if you're going fillerless. I mean, again, not even that that's really a problem. The more that's even more Adventure Time to watch, you know? Like, oh no, you get to watch a really good show for an extended period of time. But it's not a good sell when you go up to someone and say, hey, we're going to watch Adventure Time, but we're skipping half the episodes. You know? They're like, why? And then you're like, well, it's a long story. Literally. Like Bleach, you have to use a massive filler list for it, but it ends up being super good. And oh! I saw Dragon Ball and I was like, my interest has peaked. Someone did that for One Piece and you missed like 500 episodes. Yeah, and the show has 1,000, so... You can say that's the same with certain long-running animes. Yeah, pretty much. You have to use a massive filler list. For Bleach, yeah. I mean, when you mentioned Dragon Ball, luckily Dragon Ball already solved this problem, which is quite nice. So, if you did ever want to watch Dragon Ball, and this goes for like anyone, and I highly recommend it because it is actually really good. Dragon Ball is really good, you know. The negative connotations that come with that show, and you think, oh, it's got like the power scaling issue and the transformations, constantly getting power. Like, that is there to an extent, but it's nowhere near as bad as people say it is. What is this? Crystal impacts. Exploding from your heavy impacts. All the DB, none of the filler. I was about to get onto that. But you can just watch Dragon Ball Z is just super nostalgic to me. Really just wish it went faster. Like, if you really want to watch Dragon Ball without all the filler, because if you don't know, the original manga actually came out at the exact, or, yeah, the original manga actually came out around the same time as the anime, or just about. So, obviously the anime eventually got ahead of the manga, so they had to start putting in filler episodes and stuff just so that they could keep airing the show while the anime was on hold and stuff, or the manga was on hold and stuff like that. You know, how it usually goes. But as a result, there's a lot of filler in the original Dragon Ball Z anime, like the original one. Luckily, the creators of Dragon Ball actually, or at least the Dragon Ball show, actually managed to solve this problem anyway, because they just made Dragon Ball Z Kai instead. And Dragon Ball Z Kai is the show, but it only includes stuff that was in the manga. It's only stuff that was in the manga. They took out everything that was filler in the original show. And I would say that, like, if you want to watch Dragon Ball, that's a really good way to do so. Some purists might go, oh, but you gotta watch the filler, it's really fun. And to that I say, no. Also, you can make your own choice. If you like it better, that's, I can understand that. I watch anime more often, but it's either keeping me, it's either keeping attention or remembering it. Hell, I need to catch up with my hero. Started watching it is easy. MHA kind of got me bored pretty soon. The manga's a lot more fun. Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I really like My Hero Academia. I really do. My Hero Academia is one of my favorite mangas and animes. I especially really like the anime in terms of like season 1 to 2. Season 3 is also really good, but season 4 is where it tends to get a bit goofy. Mostly the production quality. That's pretty much my only problem with the show, is that they just kind of screwed with the production quality, yeah, of the 4th season. Also, it's paced a bit weirdly because of stuff they did in the 1st season, so, but that's like superfluous. I feel like I'm not actually firing half the time. The scrappy doesn't give you a lot of feedback. Not that it's a problem with the gun, it's just I'm not seeing it. The only good filler bit I remember was watching Piccolo and Goku getting their driver licenses. Yeah. But you know, if you really wanted to watch that bit, you can always just go to a, what's it called? YouTube and look up the episode or something like that. Some extra site. Look good. It's funny. Yeah, I do really like the, oh god, ow. I do really like My Hero Academia. The manga, especially right now, is going ham. Still worth watching, absolutely. That one more Vegeta had a mustache. I'll take Incendiary ×2. You yarded DBZ on my first watch too. It kind of sucks that Kiss Anime went down because I wanted to watch it. I also kind of yar it sometimes, but Because it's really hard to find, by the way. It's just not easy to find actual anime. I would love to find some way of watching stuff legitimately if they would give me the option, but most of the time they're blocked in, like, Europe and stuff. Hey, friend. Sacrifice pirate for max health. I'll sacrifice a soul for max health. I think we did the opposite trade beforehand, but we'll trade it back. You have to go to Funimation, God forbid. You know, we could do what you did with Bip and others, and I don't see what I don't need to wait for me to go up. I still plan once I get sorted out on my end. Plus, one moment I want me to do up my room, so it's a case of waiting for them to get the money to get the stuff they want for my room. Getting it here and me spending a few days at yours. I still mostly like watching it in person with you, for the most part. Because it's nice to get the proper in reactions, and for the most part, like, the connection between me and you has always been pretty spotty. Very unfortunate. Oh god, what? 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 What is this? That's new. There isn't supposed to be someone in here? I mean, I guess there is, but I wasn't expecting it. Okay. So, but this is new stuff, by the way, almost. This area isn't new, but the, this enemy is new. He's doing, like, anime swordsman stuff on me. I'd find a way to come up for that. Yeah, if you can find a way to come up, it would be nice. There's a lot of stuff for me and Alex we need to watch, I would say. Like, a lot of stuff. There's, like, 2 full seasons of shows, and then, like, 5 movies. Gonna have our time filled up. I would say maybe even if you're coming over, you should stay for like a week, just so we can get it. We can watch all the stuff. Ugh! I'll make it a week because my dad takes a few days to do stuff. Yeah. You know, we'll have to watch the entirety of My Hero Academia. We'll have to watch the entirety of a few other shows as well that I would have suggested. No! Out of all, not including bed size, I'd say my room's the biggest. I don't know the size of Alex's room, but I would attest that yours is probably bigger than mine. Mine isn't very big. Mine is actually so small I have to lie to Steam VR about my room size so I can actually play VR. It is tiny. Uh-oh. But it will be for at least my first jab, which will take a few weeks to get better. Speaking of jabs, by the way, I got my first jab in February, and we were supposed to get our second jab a few weeks ago. But unfortunately, they put us at like a really, really dumb, really not usable time slot. Oh, wait, no, the bosses are available. I thought we had one more thing to go. Yeah, it's very annoying because we were supposed to get our second jab earlier in the month. Or not even earlier in the month, earlier in the year. But they placed me and my mother at completely different time slots. So, for example, I was supposed to get my jab at 8 a.m., which I'm not up for that. Like, we would have to go all the way to a completely different area just to get a jab at 8 in the morning. And then they put my mom's time at like 3 p.m. instead of right next to where mine was. So we would either have to stay in that location for, you know, several hours, which, no. Or we'd have to come back again and do like a second trip, which cost a lot of money. So it was just an overall shitty situation we couldn't really work with. Ow. So we just decided, no, we're just gonna cancel it and we'll try and reboot. Yeah, they like really screwed us over with our second jabs. Like really screwed it. Really big hassle. If they want us to be vaccinated, they really should be putting a little more effort than that. You know, at the very least, they could have put me and my mother's right next to each other. I would have woken up at 8 a.m. just to get the jabs for, Ooh. Exit world. Loop back to the start. You're going to be getting your first one soon, hopefully. But yeah, I would have been fine, getting a jab at 8 a.m. if they would at least have put my mother's, like, 10 minutes after, or like 30, even 30 minutes, maybe an hour. We could have gone out and had something to eat and then come back, but no, it was like several hours apart, and we're just like, can't do that. We're gonna loop. Ooh. Sacrifice 3 to break free. What? Excuse me? What is this? Okay, that's really cool. So when you get to loop, you have to sacrifice a lot of your items to do so. And not sure if I like sacrificing my items, but that's a cool mechanic, though, in theory. I'm wondering how it's going to play out. Plus, we didn't really sacrifice too much, which is quite nice. At the end of every run, we usually have a bunch of superfluous stuff anyway, so it's not that big of a problem. So I'm wondering how this is going to get harder. Is there gonna be something like Nuclear Throne where there's a bunch of... Oh. Yeah. There's a bunch of new enemies. And it's like time police enemies, like in Nuclear Throne. That's probably not what they are, but they're just void enemies, but... Ow! What? What? You got your first jab a couple weeks ago, getting my second this weekend, fighting 2 final bosses at once. I was gonna say something, but I forgot what it was. Oh, I was gonna say, how did your first jabs affect you, if you've had it? Because when I got my first jab, it was horrible. I know E3 ain't that far. E3 actually isn't that far, and it's actually happening this year, which is quite exciting. We're gonna do the classic, and we're gonna boot up an E3 channel. I'm actually, honestly, I'll probably do that after the stream's over. I'll just create an E3 channel in the Discord. I used to do that all the time, and just, list the time of every E3 conference. Oh! Holy shit. Mine just gave me a sore arm and a little sleepiness. But that was fine. My mom's made her arm feel like a brick. Yeah, I can understand that. The job seems to be completely random for everyone. It is completely random, whether you get side effects or not. And luckily, or I guess unluckily, you have 2 rolls at it. You know, some people are like, "Oh, I didn't get any problems for my first jab at all. You know, I felt perfectly fine." Basically, it was nothing. And then some people are like, "Oh, by the way, I like nearly freaking died from the jab the first time." But then a lot of people are like, oh, my first jab wasn't that bad, but my second one made me really, really feverish. It does sound completely random. Probably the second one is way worse. I'd like to hope not, my god. Because my first jab was comparatively horrible. Let's say it's something to do with the blood type and how your immune system is. I actually don't know what my blood type is. Apparently he's very fond of noxious icons. Hey, it's mining laser. I actually really like this weapon. I thought it... Doesn't this weapon shred? Yeah, but you gotta be close. Sorry, I'm destroying your property. It's fine. So it makes sense to me neither. At least from what my family's talking about. I mean, I still think you should get the jab. If you ever have the opportunity, you should get the jab, because I was exaggerating when I said, "Oh, it nearly killed me." No, it's just, it feels really bad sometimes. When I got mine, it was especially debilitating. It just felt really, it put me in a really bad fever state. I couldn't stream for like 3 days, but that was it. After that, I was fine. I do like how the mining laser is just like a delete weapon. It's just an insta delete. It's like, I don't want you on this stage anymore. Good. It eats through ammo like nothing else, though. Maybe I should be saving it a bit more. Although, getting ammo for it does give me plus 125, which is kind of... Oh, new item. Ice sprint during combat. Ooh. Oh, I plan to. A jab for freedom, as they're calling it. Also a jab to stop a pandemic, so... It cuts through rocks and it'll cut through you. Ooh! I didn't know that. Huh. I wonder if this is a reference to Dead Space. I don't really want the cold white dagger, sorry. Oh, second one. Woo! Ooh, enemies who chase me get frozen, basically. That's cool. That's what I've been planning. I'll talk, but anytime I try streaming, I usually just blank on any conversation, even though I always think of stuff to say when I'm alone. Yeah, it's kind of like being put on the spot, you know, when you have stage fright or something. I would also say it's actually not that bad to just stay silent sometimes. Learning when not to speak, or I guess not learning when not to speak. It's more like learning that you can not speak. A lot of the time is perfectly fine. Like watching a cutscene, perfectly fine. Maybe thinking, maybe trying to figure something out. People will wait. The only time that's a bad thing is when like someone immediately comes into your stream as soon as you stop speaking. Because then if they don't see you're speaking for like 10 seconds, they're going to be like, oh wow, this streamer doesn't speak constantly and despite annoying noises like Markiplier. How can I even watch them? And they call themselves an entertainer. Ploopy, my beloved! Plus, sometimes you just need time to read chat. If you don't read chat consistently and, you know, clearly, people will just be far less entertained. I did try streaming before. In fact, I streamed the entirety of Outcast. You mean Outlast? Or is it Outcast? And I still remember the one bit that nearly made me sick. Oh, and the entire of Honest Hearts. Same goes for text debates and VC debates, oddly enough. People really devalue the importance of just waiting. Just saying, I'm coming in there. That dude was holding himself off away from me, and I was like, you're not getting away. I have a weapon that can counter you. Oh, Ploopy's here. Oh, God. Wait, what? I just realized there's 3 bosses here? Holy shit. Okay, can there stop being 3 bosses here? Oh no, it's that attack. I don't have the ammo to deal with this. I also don't have the time to grab ammo to deal with this. Only just even with the 3 fucking health bars. I don't look at the health bars a lot. You know, a boss is a boss. I shoot it. But yeah, I really didn't notice there was 3 bosses. Damn. He did try to sing Fallout 4. His internet was garbage back then. I'm wondering if there's any shops, mini shops we can purchase something from. Because I'm gonna need ammo. I'll take it, but I'm not. Oh wait. What? Polaroid shotgun. Is this a cursed weapon? Okay, what did you take? I remember when this game first launched and freezing was overpowered as hell. You may try again even with better net. Yeah, I mean, I would say streaming is fun. Streaming is really fun. Especially once you get into it, you know? Once you've got, like, a few people watching, a few people chatting, a lot of stuff to bank off of. I think I need to focus on one of them. Okay, one of them is going into thingy mode. Ow, fuck. You're not dead? Oh my god. What a strong boy. Yeah, these void lads. Oh god, these void lads are really strong. I came over here trying to get some ammo, but I'm just gonna lose it from fighting all the void boys. Boy, am I glad I have a weapon that just kind of melts them though. Okay. Any tips for actually getting your streams out there, though? I would say just, for the most part, it's all about really consistency. It's probably, you've probably heard it a million times, but as long as you're streaming, you know, eventually someone will see it. Eventually people will see it. You're kind of just looking for the right moment at the right time. I feel like I just don't get viewers at all, and advertising in random numbers feels weird. I mean, you can have that. Back when I was like 12 and streamed Jump to Josh, it felt so much easier. Yeah, when it comes to streaming, a few tips I can give is just having good... I mean, having good audio is a good start. Probably one of the best starts you can have. People don't watch streams with bad audio. But you don't need to be, you know, on like a professional microphone, a professional anything. Give me a sec to concentrate, because... Oh, one of them died. Okay, this should be considerably easier now. No, no, not this attack! Yeah, streaming used to be so much easier back in like 2015-ish. To an extent, you know, you had a much niche audience to go for, but at least people actually consistently tuned into newer streamers and stuff. It wasn't all dominated by like your ninjas, your Markipliers, your Jacksepticeye's, Dr. Disrespects. You got consistent viewers per stream, especially think without less. I think I did get 12. Do you use OBS? I could never get my audio to sound right on it. I mean, funnily enough, I am actually using OBS, and for the past week or 2 weeks, I've been fucking about with audio because I couldn't get it to sound right. I just couldn't get it to sound right. And yeah, it's a consistent problem with like I think just any software. It's not really about OBS. It's just kind of leveling and mixing, and audio is just really annoying in general, to be honest. That's one of those things you have to hear as opposed to actually like see. It really feels like a majority of the time my levels are lying to me. Like, everything looks fine. Everything looks perfectly fine as it is from what I can see, but you never know. One thing could be too loud. Maybe my highs are too high. Maybe my S sounds are a bit too sharp. Maybe my game audio is just a bit too high and I'm cutting out. Maybe, like, you know, I'll never know. Audio is just really annoying. Stretch. I'll stretch. Last time you had a rogue audio mixer, transmitter, human mics, also a nice one. Last time I had a rogue audio mixer, which turned up the bass to like 300%. That's why you, I would say if you're trying to get audio right, one of the best things to do is just, and it's tedious, it's very, very tedious, is just to record a little bit. You know, look at him eating, look at him go! Yeah, it's always just to record a little bit, listen to it back before you start streaming, and then if it doesn't sound right, alter it a bit, you know. I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks where I'll record a bit of the stream before I start streaming, listen to how the audio sounds, see if there's any glaring issues, because, you know, having a massive glaring issue in your audio can and will ruin a majority of the stream. And not for, like, getting viewers. It's more like, it just kind of ruins the enjoyment a little bit. Like, again, if I shouted real loud and my audio peaked to hell and, like, flipped and stuff, it wouldn't sound nice. And the irony of that is I don't know if that actually didn't clip or anything. It could have clipped. I don't know. I'm still fucking with it.
Vippo!
Vippo! Wait, we're done. Oh, no, we're not done. There's another boss. Where are you? I'm coming to assassinate you. Looping takes a while. This is still the first stage. Holy crap. I'm also fucking about. I've never had ammo to deal with them quickly. But yeah, I do use OBS. I actually find the OBS to be quite nice. Quite resourceful. What? Wait, what? What the hell is this? Okay. I guess a big blob. Yeah, a tip for streaming would be, you know, you don't have to be talking all the time. You can be talking most of the time, and it is more advised to continue talking. You know, the more you talk, the better. It's also good practice just to get in, because it's actually made me a lot more confident in speaking in general. I love the pride emojis. They're pretty good. They're actually really good. Aside from that, it's all just kind of about like meta stuff that doesn't really matter, like what games you're playing, and I just don't care about that. As long as you have decent settings, good audio, and you're having fun, people will join in, people will watch, people will see your enthusiasm, your passion, and you'll just kind of, they'll gravitate towards you. It is really hard to actually get people to... Oh god, I might die. It is really hard to actually get people to notice you, though. That's the hard part. I've been streaming on this Twitch channel for 4 years now. I still only have 500 followers. And, my VODs channel... Wait, this is a trade one. I don't want to trade one. Yeah, I don't want to trade one. Yeah, even my my VODs channel is still at 900 subscribers, despite posting daily for the past 4 years. It is tough. I wish I could go into like a positive dB on my max settings. You don't want to go into a positive dB. I will say this. My mic is not only quiet, but so is my voice. Well, it's unhearable. There is a lot of things you can do to fix that. You can obviously go into your audio settings and, Did they update the music here? The music sounds bopping. Yeah, it feels like they updated. It's got a beat now. Maybe it's got a beat because it's in, hard mode. But yeah, you don't want to go into positive. If you go into positive, that's clipping. So... There's a couple things you can do. You can always, like, you can look in your audio settings to see if your mic is too quiet, or, maybe your mic is too quiet on the actual settings on the microphone. You know, on the actual unit. If it's one of those that has a volume slider on it. Or you're using an audio interface. But, the thing that I do... Actually, I'll give you an example. So, currently, I would say my microphone is also a bit too quiet for streaming. So, what I do is I use a filter to actually just increase the gain. And that's what I would actually recommend the most, is that you use a filter to increase the gain. So, here's what a microphone sounds like with the gain turned off. This is what it naturally sounds like, just with no extra bits to it. But then I turn the gain on, and then I come back to full again. Because I'm increasing it by 10 decibels. You know, I average out maybe around 30 decibels, or minus 30. But, or minus, I guess minus 25-ish. But then with plus 10, I go all the way back up to yellow, and I'm fully audible again with the game. I must bid you adieu, I am freaking sleepy. Well, I'll see you later, Kieran. Thanks for joining in. Have I only been streaming for an hour? No. There's no way I've just been streaming for an hour. Oh god, I have. Oh god. Feels much longer. Yeah, you can actually add filters in OBS to whatever audio source you want to increase the decibels that you're at, and I would actually recommend that. It's a really cheap and easy way to get your microphone up to snuff in terms of volume. As long as you're just about not in red, you should be fine. Not to mention, I also have like a bajillion other filters on my voice to really make it clearer. And to limit it and stuff. I would say that if you're doing audio in OBS, the bare minimum, and like, what you would need to just get started is, you know, adding a bit of gain if it's too quiet, and then adding a limiter. You know, a limiter, so like at something like minus... Oh god, this enemy is so cool! Yeah, adding a limiter to make it so that you're not going into the red. Those are the two things you need, and that's kind of all you really need. Everything else is just extra. You know, it'll help, but it won't kill you to not have it. You want more health for another soul? Man, they're being so greedy. Ow, ow. Oh! when I go into that shed, it's probably gonna ask me to trade a weapon. No, it's gonna ask me to trade health. Well, I'm not trading health. I would have traded a weapon. I think I fixed my mic problem. Did you? What was the problem? Did you just add decibels to it and with a filter, or was it something extra outside of OBS? Too far away? This is true. I've heard this statement a lot from like a lot of audio experts or just people who are doing tutorials and stuff. A majority of problems with someone's mic or anyone's mic can be fixed by just moving it. I also should have mentioned that moving the microphone is probably one of the biggest fixer of a majority of your problems. Like if you want your microphone to be clearer and you want to get that kind of ASMR kind of fullness vibe, you just move closer, you know? You just get a bit closer. But, you know, I think it's especially apparent on like my microphone, because my microphone is an XLR microphone. It's very sensitive in like a very short range. So if I go all the way back out up here, I sound like basically inaudible. Well, not inaudible, but very, very not clear. And I wasn't even going back that far. Position of your microphone does make a huge difference. That's why some people have them like shoved directly into their mouths or something. like Maximilian dude who has his microphone consistently like tied to his neck, basically. Big issues with moving my mic is that it's a second headset, so I have to wear a second headset around my neck. Ah. Yeah, that can be a bit bothersome. What the hell is this enemy? Who is throwing shit at me? Oh, it's you. Oh, I think I might just take a hit right now. Oh, I didn't, and I got the health. God, lead me to another location to get away from Echo. And when I do that, breathing out close to everything. I've actually had this problem as well, funnily enough. In one of my first streams I did of H3, I had the microphone way too loud. So when I was holding my breath to snipe at a really long distance target, suddenly everyone would get completely blasted. And was definitely a hard-taught lesson to kind of be a bit reserved with your audio. Sometimes. Oh, one thing you can do to fix it, and it might not work for what you're using, but tilting your microphone away from you slightly, very, very slightly. I mean, like, not even 45 degrees, but more like 20 to 30, can improve the breathing out pop-in a lot. Ooh. So for example, my microphone currently is, it's not actually directly on top of my, or in front of my mouth. It's slightly to the side of it, so that if I do go, it doesn't like blow it out. And I'm not blowing directly into it whenever I'm breathing. But it might not really work for something that's directly connected to a headset, because those things have such a very, very short radius of effect. You could try it. It's always possible to try. You would think that for having such a short range of how audible the microphone is, ones that are attached to a headphone that is, that they would be clearer than usual, but apparently not. There's a lot of health here, actually. I could trade some stuff for it. My headset mic is actually pretty good. I have heard a lot of them are really nice. Not in the radius department, but in the sound and the quality, yeah. Yeah, they can usually get like a lot more. They don't have a big dynamic range, but what they do have sounds very nice a majority of the time from what I found. On the ones I've used, they've got like a good sound to it, but not a huge dynamic range like something like an XLR microphone would have. Not a lot of detail, but sounds good. Plus, the ones I used were like 2013, so honestly could have improved significantly since then as well. What a cluster fuck this area is, oh my god. Oh god, I'm being hit. Oh, I died. Interesting. Let's do another one. I think we want to activate the third boss for the first loop. We don't really have the power to or the ammo to deal with the third boss. But for first loop, the original loop, it's perfectly fine. Pre-loop, I guess. You really need to get good at Gungeon, to be honest. I kind of felt that as well when I was playing Gungeon. I'm honestly just kind of not that really big of a fan of Gungeon. I've mentioned before, especially on this stream as well, since Gungeon gets brought up a lot, since it's kind of similar in a way. Seems very inspired by it to an extent. But I've never really been a big fan of Gungeon and how it performs. Runs don't really change very much per run in that. You haven't played it enough for what it deserves. I would say probably the same for me. I just don't play it enough. Never really been super interested in it. I was when it first came out, but nowadays, nah. I usually, if I'm wanting to play a game like that, I usually just play this or Nuclear Throne. Nuclear Throne is my roguelike of choice overall. I would say it's the one I have the most fun with. The one that I like the most. I would like to get back into the Binding of Isaac for the most part, but I don't know. Something about the Binding of Isaac just doesn't tickle me the right way. In terms of just gameplay loop. Doesn't invest me. Did you get Repentance? I did get Repentance. I've only played it for like 4 hours though. I think seeing the amount of stuff that I didn't actually have unlocked and that I would have to unlock to get to the Repentance content was making me a bit iffy on it. I was like, I kind of want to play Repentance stuff, but I can't because I don't have it unlocked. I don't have... I had to go and kill Delirium again. Because I've only killed him like once. I would like Bullet Lotion. Bullet Lotion is really nice. I also haven't done any of the challenges in Isaac. Isaac is like a huge time sink if you want to unlock stuff. Beating, you know, every single boss on every single character on hard mode and easy mode. While also doing a bunch of extra stuff. You felt the same until you did the corpse boss. I really wanted to get the new characters. Yeah, I kind of wanted to get the new characters as well. I did really like the Binding of Isaac when it first came out. I was so hyped for Rebirth when it first released, man. The second that Rebirth released, I was on it. I was playing it. There's so many, too. Yeah, there's just... It sounds weird, but there's like too much content in the Binding of Isaac, to be honest. At least a lot of the new characters are a little rushed, to say the least. Yeah, honestly, I agree some. I would maybe say it maybe has like content in the wrong direction. Like a majority of it at this point is unlockable content, which I just can't bring myself to do. Knowing that there's like a massive grind ahead before I can actually get like tons and tons and tons of really cool items, it's kind of just... I have 400 hours and I have just over half of the achievements. Yeah, it's a really kind of time-dependent game. I wouldn't mind if the runs didn't last, like, an hour each. Like, you know, you have to spend an hour per run each on every character, like, 10, 15 times at the least. And that's if you win every time. If you don't win every time, well, that's... then it just multiplies, you know? Ooh, health. I think if you did the Binding of Isaac perfectly, you know, you got every unlock on your first try, it would still take you like 100 hours. Which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I would also recommend this game as well if you're looking for a roguelike. It's a really fun game. It's still in early access, and honestly, I feel like it doesn't show. This feels like a complete game at this point. Almost. There's still a few mechanics that aren't super fleshed out, like you get a bunch of currency for defeating bosses and beating loops that isn't used in anything right now. So, obviously you can go like, well, obviously it's not complete because it's in early access, but for the most part, this is like, they could remove that and then just say this is the complete game and you'd be like, yeah, of course. Of course it's the complete game. For The Lost specifically. The Lost is also a part of the reason I don't really want to play the Binding of Isaac too much more. Because I feel like The Lost is the unfun type of challenge. Like the don't get hit, haha skill issue type of challenge. Just don't get hit for it. Just unlock the mantle for the Lost forehead. I feel like the Lost kind of sums up the Binding of Isaac's difficulty for me, in terms of like what it wants from you. It's like, just be perfect, forehead. Just do everything perfectly, forehead. Which isn't required, obviously. It's not like the game requires that of you. It can still be enjoyed without it. I think it got so much more difficult with Repentance too. They have the rate of fire and shot speed of like every enemy. I think I noticed that as well. I was noticing I was getting hit a lot by like the basic enemies. And I felt like it wasn't just like me being super rusty. I felt like it was more like the enemies were actually being a lot more aggressive. Hard mode is now easy mode from Afterbirth Plus, or the other way around. Yeah, I can kind of understand that. It's also kind of annoying because there's no point to playing easy mode. You know what I mean? Kind of feels like, hey, if you're playing easy mode, you're just doubling the amount of times you have to play the game. Why would I do that when I can just start on hard mode from the default and just unlock everything on a single run if I get lucky? But then the game ends up being too hard and you're like, well, like, what do I do? I feel like I'm wasting my time. There's only one unlock specifically to hard mode, really. I assumed there was many more. I assumed that every character had a hard mode unlock. At least that's what I remember. I'm probably wrong, but... Greedier mode being the exception. Greedier have separate unlocks. I remember playing Greed/Greedier mode when it first came out. I don't remember what it is anymore. I don't remember how it plays. I was really excited for it, and then like it came out, and then everyone was like, "Yeah, it's kind of mediocre." And no, I picked the wrong thing. Oh, health is fine. Fight waves instead of going through modes. Going through rooms. Yeah. Oh right, yeah, it's coming back to me now. It's the head, the machine is turning. Each wave gives you some coins. Yeah, the cogs are turning now. I can vaguely remember it. I got some ammo for a weapon that I wasn't using. There are a bunch of question marks down below. I could go for those. Oh my god, this bow is actually godly? What? It's dealing some insane damage. First, you really like weird modes. It's can lose your favorite for a while, and you get a free first item room. Really helps with room 2, room 1. I really liked playing Judas because Judas was just kind of, you know, big damage stat, of course. As Caesar got super nerfed and is still ridiculously good. Yeah, you better cry. Get out of here. Get out of here. Come, actually, no, come back. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to be so mean. Man, I love all the enemy designs in this. I wish I could hug them. They're so cute. So charming. I'm not giving you my rats. You can poo off with that. Here, eat fresh. Oh, being greedy today, oh my. Ooh, hot gun. Rat loot. Rat infested loot. Am I just a rat man? I guess rat girl in this case. I guess I'm just the rat girl. Now I am tempted to give up my bow because I could get bandolier. And I kind of want to use hot gun. It's pretty dangerous running with weapons that don't have ammo. But I'm going to do it. Yeah, we'll go for it. Or at least using weapons that have like only 40 shots in spare. But I can always swap if I change my mind, so. You might actually recognize the developers of this game. Maybe. I'd imagine a lot of people would. They're the creators of Thunder Humor from like way yonder back in like 2014. Putting stuff like Horse and Boy, and there was a couple series they made. I feel like it's very noticeable they made it. I don't remember that actually. Yeah. Oh, I guess I'm not surprised. It was like Thunder Humor used to do like today's humor, but back in 2014. It wasn't even gaming. It was like YouTube shows or YouTube shorts. Ooh. Oh, the rats follow. Ow! Wow! Wow! Yeah, I think running with 2 weapons like this is bad. Oh, I got hit again. I didn't even notice. Yeah, Thunder Humor were pretty funny. I really actually like their old stuff. Yeah, yeet. Oh, this is another bouncy weapon. So is this just a tier of weapon? I'm guessing? Honestly surprised that I'm not burnt out the grinding of Isaac yet. Really just shows how much they put into the game. I mean, it's still really addictive. That's kind of the catch. It's like, it's one of those games for the longest time I was like, I don't really like playing it. But then you play it anyway, you know? Eventually I got out of that cycle and was just like, you know what, I just want to play Nuclear Throne instead. Runs actually, or the game is actually fun for extended periods of time. Very gaming. Oh, what is that? Cryo rounds. Oh god, did they... It looks like they put cryo rounds to a higher rarity. Cryo rounds. Which is good because, cryo rounds are really strong. Really, really strong. I remember when the meta of this game, well, quote-unquote meta, when it first came out, was basically just get a bunch of cryo rounds and then just freeze enemies to death. Oh, you guys are getting ratted. God, I love the rats. This is the perfect item for Germa, gotta say. He would enjoy this game. I think I developed a resistance to burnout through quarantine since my school made my classes double length. I wish I could have a resistance to burnout. A lot of fighting games get me burnt out. Like really, really burnt out. Let me check what that was. Oh, it was an H3. Is someone being transphobic? Okay. Yeah, just get banned. Okay. Idiot. Okay. Yeah, it was someone was just, apparently someone was evading a ban. Yeah, someone just came in and said, "Oh yeah, I get banned here a lot. I'm using an alt account," and I'm like, "Okay, well, goodbye." Forehead, 900 IQ play. Just say that you got banned. Oh god. I really don't get people sometimes. Like, surely there's a, something appealing about being a douchebag that just really, that I don't get. Not saying I'm never a douchebag. I can, of course, be a douchebag. I can always be, like, some pretentious person. I do speak pretentiously a lot of the time. Especially in text. Or, you know, it kind of comes off as really pretentious a lot of the time. But man, some people just, like... feels like they love it. I just can't imagine loving... being a dick. Or loving being so hateful. Especially in terms of, like, especially in this month, you know, with Pride and stuff. I just don't understand how people can just be so happy or so content with being really spiteful and hateful. especially to like specific people that they've never met for no reason other than like, I don't know, I don't like what's in your pants. Really just baffles me to an extent. Because I feel like there's a lot better things to cry about, like, I don't know, the score your favorite football team got on the latest football match or some shit. Whatever these people also like to complain about. Oh! I looked away for half a second because I was reading checks. I thought I was clean. I don't get homophobes transforms at all. Yeah, I really don't get it. It's just, it's hate for the sake of hate. And it's kind of horrible. It's like you just want to be mad. I don't, and like sometimes they come up with, like all the reasons they usually come up with are just excuses. But they really just kind of wish they could say, oh, I'm just an asshole. But that, you know, sounded like an asshole. It's weird. It is weird. Maybe there's a secret positive about it I just haven't realized. Like, I don't know, maybe you get more dates or something. Maybe you get classed as the bad boy and people really like you. Oh my god, we got this weapon. This weapon is so good. It's just conservatism for the sake of conservatism. It's kind of just hating something for the sake of having something to hate. And I just don't tolerate that. Especially like in my stream, in my Discord, in H3, I just don't tolerate that. If you're so petty that you just want to hate something, just, I don't know, look in the mirror or something. Stop, like, using it on other people. Ooh. Yeah, we could go with, like, 2 shotgun-ass weapons. Why not? This is like another mining laser melter. I like them. Life is so weird. I kind of just wish people could celebrate stuff, or like be like, I know it sounds like generic, but I just kind of wish people could be happy about stuff. I know I'm one to talk because I'm typically pretty negative or pretty skeptical about stuff, but I don't let my skepticism drown out enjoyment. That's one thing people kind of forget, that even if you are skeptical, you can still enjoy stuff. It's like I'm constantly skeptical about video games coming out, especially from renowned companies. But like, if the game comes out, and even if it's moderately terrible, I'm like, I can still enjoy it. It's really not that difficult. And people seem to think that in order to be like skeptical, you have to just drown out all enjoyment of anything. Which is sad. And then it kind of just, it manifests into something much larger, and eventually that skepticism turns to just hate, and then that hate turns into like, I don't like trans people or so, or whatever else they want to say. It's just very not fun to be around. I think also going a bit back on topic with stuff like Pride Month and shit like that, it's like every 20 minutes I feel like I see like the oh, corporations are just doing it for the money joke, or the the quip, and everyone just using. I've seen that. I feel like I've seen that more this year than any year. The one joke, as if like that actually defeats the point of celebrating Pride Month. You know, it's like, so what? They're gonna do it anyway. It doesn't really matter. Just ignore them. If they want to sit there and pander and shit like that, that's fine. But that doesn't mean that you have to not enjoy Pride Month because of it. We don't need corporations to celebrate Pride Month. Pandering beats oppression. Yeah, like even then, even if the companies are doing it, at least it's something. Like, yeah, they obviously are doing it, or a lot of them are doing it for money. There's no doubt about that, and like, we don't need to hear it for the 400th time. But for the most part, it's still like, I don't mind, because at the very least, it spreads information. It gets it normalized. I'd rather it be normalized than oppressed. And I'd rather it be celebrated than not. Like, I guess it's just like an addendum to what I said like 10 minutes ago, where people just think that in order to be skeptical, you have to drown out any form of enjoyment to do so. When, like, you can still be skeptical and still enjoy stuff. You can still be like, corporations bad, money, haha, pride, and then you can still enjoy Pride Month. We don't need the corporations to celebrate something that should be celebrated. Back when corporations literally wouldn't serve gay people. Imagine if they did the same thing with corporations supporting cancer research or something. Supporting cancer? That's just pandering towards cancer patients. Yeah. I feel like, situations like this, they're really easy to put like a, what would it be called? It's really easy to put a, I forgot the word, it begins with an A, and I was going to say anagram, but an example. It's really easy, an analogy, that's it, thank you. Yeah, it's really easy to put an analogy in, or like an actual fair analogy in, that makes them, or makes the point look ridiculous. You know? It's really easy to swap it with something else and go like, well, this is kind of what you're doing. And, like, some people, a lot of people I know have actually gone, oh yeah, you're right. That is kind of what I'm doing. So, like, genuinely, a lot of people have actually kind of seen it like that. But a lot of people then do the damage control thing and they go like, well, no, that's not the exact thing I'm talking about, though. Or they pull out some other, they pull out a straw man or an excuse or something. Oh, I'm out of ammo. I didn't even realize. We need to go down. What's really confused me is how normalized a lot of this hate is. Yeah, like... When I came out as non-binary in December, I was pretty happy about it, obviously. And, it really surprised me that suddenly I then just started noticing just how much... Oh! I didn't know the rats did that. It surprised me just how much hate there really is. Like the fact that it was like an eye-opening experience seeing like, my god, there's still like a ton of hate everywhere, on every post, on every supportive post, on every nice thing. Unless it's like a really niche condensed community, like some LGBT Twitter artists replies, as in like a good thing. Unless it's something like that, there's like always just someone there to hate, and I was like, it's kind of daunting, being like, I can't believe it's still relatively unnormalized. I really feel like treating people like human beings shouldn't be a hot take, and the fact that it still is in a lot of cases is scary to me. Oh shit. I thought this was an inside room. I didn't know this was a an outside room.
Hello.
Hola, I would like this. I'm the Rat Master right now. I hate to pin the blame on one group, but it feels like people like Crowder and Shapiro and the whole SJW owned movement has made hateful stuff far more normalized than it should be. I feel like it gets guised a lot of the time as jokes. Where people kind of do like the SJW, like SJW, oh, and stuff like that. They do all that and they kind of normalize it as a joke instead. You know, they people kind of fruity and slip themselves and just kind of put up jokes of being transphobic or just being hateful and then kind of guising it as a joke all the time. Plus, yeah, people getting enabled to do this stuff by people with power, like Shapiro, for example, doesn't help. But the problem is, it's always going to be like that. There's always going to be people with power to enable the hurtful side. There almost isn't ever going to not be people of power. Even like today, there's plenty of racist people of power who have the power to pull people over to their side, and it's disgusting. I remember me in like 2016 seeing Brad Shapiro destroys transgenderism and falling way too deep into the hole. Yeah. It's just very, very unfortunate. I guess like a more black and white way of saying something along these lines is quite a few people come into the HCVR server, and I say quite a few. I more mean like 10 over the course of the entire server's lifespan. You know, they'll come in, they'll say a slur like the N-word or something, and we'll go, "Hey, can you not say slurs, please?" And then they'll suddenly like argue for their right to be able to say slurs. And I feel like at that point, if you're arguing for your right to say hateful slurs, like, you really should be getting better priorities. I'm not even saying that in like in an insulting way. I really think you should just like take a step back and look at what you're saying. Look at what you're actually fighting for. But then again, it also feels like people in that instance, they kind of brick wall. And you either call them out and they decide, yeah, oh sorry, I'm kind of being a bit of a dick. I didn't really know what I was saying. Or they kind of go the complete opposite direction and they just start brick walling. They stop thinking about reason. They just like go like, you know, I couldn't have been wrong. The stuff I was saying, you know, I was saying it and I was confident about what I was saying. I couldn't have been wrong. And they kind of brick wall themselves from extra criticism. Same people who refuse to argue for human rights that want to argue for rights to be hateful. Mm-hmm. And that's why I always say I'm not tolerant of the intolerant, because, you know, they're not tolerant of me, of any of the LGBT community. They're not tolerant of any transgender people, of any gay people, lesbian. Oh, well, it goes from person to person, but you know what I mean. Like the general root of it. If you're not tolerant towards them, why should I be tolerant towards you? And the answer is I shouldn't. The cremator. I remember the cremator. Is it good? I remember not really liking the bass hunter, so we'll go with the cremator. It's a shame this wasn't actually asking for the bass hunter. When people act like being intolerant towards the intolerant is some sort of a logical fallacy. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I can, you know, be intolerant towards people who want transgender people dead. It's like... Yeah, it's really hard to explain that specifically unless I think about it. I never really like, I usually like thinking about it before I speak about stuff like that, because then I end up saying stuff that sounds a bit stupid in 2020 hindsight. I feel like I've done pretty good so far, though. Managed to explain it pretty well. I'm actually kind of glad that, for the most part, at least from what I've seen, that kind of mindset has kind of gone. The one where, you know, if you're so tolerant, why aren't you tolerant of me being intolerant? You know, that kind of logical, or quote-unquote logical fallacy. I'm glad for the most part people aren't using that anymore. But in its place, people are using, like, just, they don't care. You know? They stop trying to excuse it and trying to get justification for it, and they just go like, well, I don't care. Instead. Well, I think we should be done for now, mostly. It's like the intolerant have gotten more... It's like the tolerant have gotten more tolerant, while the intolerant have gotten more intolerant. Yeah? It's, I mean, that's kind of what people do. People kind of move towards the... people are constantly moving. They're constantly in flux. Just representing a divide between everyone worldwide. I think that's maybe what caught me off guard when I was seeing all the hate, is that it had gotten so much more confident. You know what I mean? Like, people got a lot more confident about being hateful and spiteful and not very nice to people. As opposed to before, where it was kind of just like they weren't really that confident, but they were still just being an ass. Now it's just like they've gone completely opposite directions, and they've kind of gotten... They both settled in their own sections, and it's kind of more jarring that way. It's a really big shame. Luckily, a majority of the people I like, and the majority of people I kind of foster in my community, and people I play with, they're all really accepting, really nice, really good people. They're really supportive, really nice, really sweet. And that is because, you know, I'm intolerant of the intolerant people. If I see someone who's intolerant, I just ban them. I just don't care. I don't want to see them. You know? It's like, I'm not going to convince you. You're not going to convince me. There's nothing that's going to happen. I'm just going to ban you, and I'm not going to give you the chance. You see people now like Chowder, who straight up admit to being hateful, don't even hide it anymore, and still get washed and defended. Yeah. I mean, again, if someone of power does it, then surely it's okay. Surely it's okay to be malicious and spiteful and evil if someone of power does it. And that's how, you know, that's how these things rise. And it's horrible. Once you've got enough of a grasp over a community, you can kind of just do whatever you want with them, and you can, like, rile them up, and you can send them into a fury as much as you want, and you can say anything you want, and they'll probably listen. Provided it at least vaguely fits what you've been going for so far. If that person's already been hateful the entire time, and they just go, yeah, I'm hateful, their community is going to go, yeah, of course, we all knew this. And they just stop trying to hide it. Makes them easier to ban, at the very least. I was saying this in some of the mod chats, but one of the really good parts about Pride Month is that it baits the dickheads into coming out of hiding, and it just lets you ban them, and they're out of here. It's very it's convenient, you know. A lot of them try and skirt around that line, but then they just come out of nowhere, and they're like, oh well, blah, 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 and you ban them anyway. Yearly server cleansing. One of the quotes I said in one of the mod chats was June, or Pride Month, is like Discord's prune feature, but infinitely more entertaining and only targets dickheads. It's great. Not great seeing the amount of hate there is, but at least people are actually kind of supportive, and at least they're celebrating it. And we get a cleaner server, or a cleaner community as a result. Very nice. Oh, but well, I think we are finished for now. I really love Voidigo. Voidigo is such a good, damn good game. I really can't wait to see what they do next. I'm probably going to play more of it as well. We didn't really get to explore the loops that much because this game got a lot harder. It got a lot harder. Harder than I thought it would be. But yeah, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good time, and I will... No, I already said that. Hope you have a good time. Hope you have a good day. See ya.